In the shadows of ancient history, where whispers of the divine intertwine with the mundane, a tale unfolds that has captivated and puzzled generations. It is a story of family, betrayal, and the intricate dance of power and morality. Imagine a world where the actions of a single individual can shape the destiny of nations, where a moment of weakness can lead to a legacy of strife. This is the world of Genesis, and at its heart lies the enigmatic act of Reuben, the eldest son of Jacob, who lay with his father's concubine, Bilhah. Reuben's act is a shock, a violation that ripples through the fabric of the family and the community. It is a moment that, in its brevity, carries the weight of profound consequences. The Talmud, a collection of Jewish oral law and commentary, suggests that Reuben's intention was to defile Bilhah, the slave girl of his mother's dead rival, Rachel, thereby making her sexually taboo to Jacob. This interpretation casts Reuben's act as a calculated move, a desperate attempt to assert his authority and challenge his father's rule. However, more recent scholars have offered a different perspective, one that sees Reuben's act as a bid for power. In the ancient world, cohabiting with the consort of a ruler was a way to claim his authority. By lying with Bilhah, Reuben may have been attempting to seize his birthright and the leadership of the clan while his father was still alive. The silence of Jacob in response to this act is deafening. The same verb used to describe his reaction to the rape of his daughter, Dinah, is employed here, suggesting a deep sense of outrage and a paralysis in the face of such a grave transgression. The fact that Jacob is referred to as Israel in this episode is significant. The name Israel is often used in contexts of moral and spiritual crisis, and the phrase, "a scurrilous thing in Israel," emphasizes the gravity of Reuben's act. It is a stain on the family's honor and a challenge to the moral order. The narrative then shifts to a genealogical list of Jacob's 12 sons, marking a transition in the story. This list, followed by the genealogy of Ishmael in the next chapter, serves as a bridge between the old and the new. When the story resumes, Jacob, now an aged patriarch, remains a background figure, but the focus shifts to the story of Joseph and his brothers. This transition is crucial, as it sets the stage for the complex and psychologically rich tale that will unfold, a story that will dominate the rest of the book of Genesis. The genealogies in Genesis are not just dry lists of names and dates. They are living documents that reflect the historical and political configurations of the time. They serve to account for the lineage and the rise of different peoples and nations, all of whom are connected to the patriarchs in some way. The genealogy of Esau, in particular, is a testament to the fulfillment of the blessing that Isaac gave him, even though it was a blessing that was tinged with conditions and limitations. Esau's lineage is detailed in Genesis 36, and it is a story of its own. Esau, the firstborn son of Isaac, who sold his birthright to his brother Jacob, goes on to establish a powerful clan in the land of Edom. His wives and children, his chieftains and the kings of Edom, are all chronicled in this chapter. The narrative describes how Esau, unable to coexist with Jacob due to their vast wealth and the limitations of the land, moves to the high country of Seir, where he becomes the father of the Edomites. This move is significant, as it marks the geographical and political separation of the two brothers, a separation that will have lasting implications for their descendants. The genealogy of Esau is not just a list of names. It is a story of survival and adaptation. The Horites, the indigenous people of the land, are mentioned, and their integration into the Edomite society is noted. The Horites, who were likely the Hurrians, a people from Armenia, had settled in the region and were eventually assimilated into the local population. This assimilation is reflected in the names of the Horite chieftains, which are West Semitic, indicating a blending of cultures. The list of kings of Edom is particularly interesting. These kings, who reigned before any king ruled over the Israelites, provide a glimpse into the political landscape of the time. The absence of a dynastic succession among these kings suggests a more fluid and dynamic political structure, where power was not inherited but earned through leadership and military prowess. The mention of these kings also serves as a reminder of the broader context in which the story of Jacob and his sons is unfolding. The world of Genesis is not isolated. It is part of a larger historical and cultural tapestry. The genealogies in Genesis are more than just records of lineage. They are a means of understanding the world of the patriarchs and their descendants. They provide a framework for the narrative, a way of situating the events and characters within a broader historical and geographical context. The transition from the genealogy of Esau to the story of Joseph and his brothers is a natural progression, a shift from the periphery to the center of the narrative. In the end, the story of Reuben's violation of Bilhah and the genealogies that follow it are more than just a series of events. They are a reflection of the complex and often contradictory nature of human behavior and the enduring legacy of family and tradition. The shock of Reuben's act and the silence of Jacob are moments that resonate through the ages, reminding us of the profound impact of our actions and the delicate balance of power and morality. The story of Genesis continues, but the lessons it teaches remain as relevant today as they were in the ancient world. In the end, it is a story of humanity, with all its flaws and triumphs, a story that continues to captivate and challenge us.